Alright, we got to talk about the algorithm, everyone, because it seems like me trying to make stuff on YouTube gets no views, apart from from my mum. Thanks, mum. But the thing that does get views is me getting tools out and showing you what I've got. So, in the aim of pleasing you and pleasing the algorithm and to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers, here's a thing. So it's actually not a new thing. I've had this for a little while. My brother gave me this for my birthday, so thanks, dude. I won't name you on camera because maybe you don't want to be named and I haven't asked. But this little soldering iron is a really nice one, and I'm showing you this because the last soldering iron video I did with the little firm battery rechargeable one did really well, although some people started to say that they were having problems with their tips, and so I thought I'd respond to that with saying maybe something like this could be the answer. Now, I actually don't know the price of it, but you could look up T12D Universal Soldering Station and I'm sure you would find out very quickly how much these cost. I do know little firm irons you can get replacement tips, but these ones, you can buy these tips here, and the best thing is these are Harco replacement tips. So if you own a Harco iron, or you can, they're very widely used in the world, you can buy tips for these. So even though these are from some online seller who clearly 3D prints the case, or did 3D print it and then they've cast it afterwards, the idea is that you can replace the tips. So I've been using this one for better part of 6 months. It's probably time for me to replace the tip because I don't treat them very nicely, but as you might have seen before, the party trick with this soldering iron is uses the dewalt batteries that I have. It's not a perfect color match, but actually on this camera it looks alright. This is a lot more orangey than the battery. So it's pretty basic operation. It's just got a button on the top, lights up, pretty. It's got a nice digital readout, and it tells you in degrees Celsius. I don't know if you can change it to Fahrenheit. I don't think you can, because I don't want to say anything bad about anyone that uses Fahrenheit. I've been trying to understand it myself, alright? But yeah, it comes up in degrees Celsius. It comes up to temperature really quickly. Now here's the point, do I have any nice solder? I've got this, there you go, I'll get the, there you go, the back shelf in the workshop solder. Here we go, so some solder. I don't even have a little sponge to clean this on, so this tip might not be the best. It's no, it's doing alright, it's doing alright. I thought it'd be a lot worse, but yeah, I'm not sure if that stand came with it. I can't honestly remember. It's got a little spot for a sponge, but I usually I don't usually use a sponge. I've usually got a little thing of steel wool that I scrape my soldering iron on, and I usually put it right there. And I haven't done this soldering for a little while, but I've got a project coming up and I'm going to need to, because I'm making a thing. I'm actually making a thing I've already made before. So let me pause and find something to solder, and then I'll show you how it works.
3 hours later.
There we go, I've gone into my box of stuff and I found a little PCB kit. So let's rip this open and see how we go. We'll just do a couple of solder joints, we don't have to do the whole thing, but just to show you how easy this is. I've currently probably got this soldering iron set a little bit too high. I might dial back the temperature a bit. I might go down to, it's got a nice feel on this, I guess it's obviously some kind of rotary encoder type deal, so I'm going to go to say 395, there we go. Let that cool a little bit from 450, because this is probably quite nice stuff here. So let's solder on some things here. Should we do the resistors? There's some shitty snips. He also got me a fresh supply of shitty snips, and I gotta say these ones are not particularly shitty. They're actually quite nice. So that's handy. Now, geez, I'm gonna need a multimeter, aren't I? Because I gotta read the resistor codes, and I'm terrible with that. It's my New Year's resolution, everyone. I'm going to learn how to read resistor codes, so 1 second while I just sort of figure out which resistor's which. 1 moment. Alright, can you see me there, Charlene? Or whoever you are. Alright, so one of the reasons I did change, or moved away from using this iron, is because it's got a pointy tip on it. I'm trying not to burn my hand, it's got quite a pointy one. And that's before I realised that you could buy new tips, and upon doing some research found this tip, which is more of a chisel type. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes, but generally it did solder quite well. So let's just do a wee bit of soldering. Well, that would help if I tin the end, wouldn't it? There we go. That's warm. Yeah, it doesn't do a bad job. I think the downside of the little firm iron that I started off with was really in the, I just need to wipe that off on something. See, the edge of this tip is starting to go a bit funny. So I think I remember I had to sort of, there you go. The firm iron was doing okay, but a lot of the soldering I do portably, is that a word? A lot of the soldering I do out in the field, you know, because I'm such a field operative, was quite heavy gauge. It was, you know, splicing wires and power connectors and things like that together for props. So it meant that the tip on the firm iron probably wasn't really up to the task. But this, you know, it's, I mean, look, I'm not the world's best solderer anyway, but it's making connections there. It's doing okay. I'm soldering in a hurry, but it's about the tools to help you get going, isn't it? That's what I find. If you know, and yes, this is probably a more expensive tool than the firm, but not too expensive. I think these are sort of available via AliExpress and the like, and Amazon. I've seen these. They're available for different battery platforms. I use that brand power tools, so I've got the batteries. But yeah, I think it's a really handy little thing, and because when the battery goes out, and I do get quite a lot of life out of this, I have to say, I've never had a time where it's run out and I've had to go get all my other batteries and then I've gone, oh, I wish I had a plug-in one. It has worked quite well. So there you go. If you're having trouble with the firm soldering iron, as much as I hate saying throw it away, there are tips available, but you've got to look for Parkside rechargeable soldering iron. Parkside is, I think, Lidl, is that the brand? I don't even know if we have them in Australia. We have Aldi. Parkside rechargeable soldering iron, and you can find the replacement tips. But if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit beefier with a bit more control, this thing is it's a bit of a Bobby Dazzler. So thanks very much. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.